Afternoon everybody, Rich here, back again for another video for the Diecast F1 review. Here today is the Ferrari F310 for the 1996 Formula 1 World Championship, and in the car is one Michael Schumacher. Now the F310 started off its life in pretty much the wrong way. After initial tests and, well, say tests, the car didn't get much testing. The car was pretty unreliable, it looked odd, and was, well, the butt of most jokes throughout the year. Starting off life with a low nose and then adapting to a much higher nose from Canada onwards. The car was a step in the right direction in terms of Ferrari, but not well. A step in the right direction eventually after pretty much getting walking in the wrong direction through the year. The reliability was pretty poor. Drivability looked odd or looked off, and well, I think it was criticised by both drivers throughout the year. The team started off the season, of course, in Australia. It seemed, to start off pretty well. Third and fourth on the grid in Australia, with Irvine ahead of Schumacher. Irvine eventually finishing third in the race. Schumacher retiring with, I think, brake problems. But it seemed quite a good start throughout the season. But it took a downward spiral coming into Monaco, with Schumacher on pole position, but retiring on the first lap. Not through reliability, but just through a mistake. Three demeaning retirements in a row from Canada, France and Britain, with engine problems, drive shaft problems and pretty much any other problem that you could throw at it. The car retiring from pole position on the formation lap of the French Grand Prix. It sort of says it all. Drive shaft issues in Canada, and then double engine blow-ups in at Silverstone very early in the race as well. I think within 5 laps of the start, both cars were out of the race. 3 wins in the year though, I won't say a lucky win, but a very dominant win in the Spanish Grand Prix, a very wet Spanish Grand Prix. Schumacher managing to win the race by I think nearly a lap. And then 2 more race wins in Belgium and then Italy. The Italy race I think was more down to everyone else fucking up rather than Schumacher being brilliant. The Belgium race I think was the same case as well. The car wasn't brilliant throughout the year. It had its moments, but it was a development year, I think. John Barnard, who designed the car, had a lot of plans for this car. Started off basic and then build upon it, and which is pretty much what he did going into the next season, 1997. Schumacher said at the beginning of the year he wanted to win 3 races and then go on to challenge for the title the next season. And he did it, all fair to him. Schumacher won 3 races and then went on to challenge for the championship in 97. It didn't go well, but he was true to his word. And I have to say it's pretty much the same as what Sebastian Vettel is doing at Ferrari this year. Joined the team in a crisis, win 3 races, and then looks like it's going to be a championship contender in 2016, but we shall see. Irvine in the other car, Eddie Irvine, had 11 straight retirements while driving the car. Most of them through mechanical failures, but also a few. I think 11 retirements. I think it was 9 maybe, but I know he scored 11 points in the season. 3rd place in the opening round, and then picking up the odd 5th and 6th throughout the season. But if the car wasn't finishing in the points, it was pretty much breaking down before it got to half distance, or a few collisions here and there. Schumacher's season was a bit more hit and miss. He did have a lot of retirements, but he did manage to finish 3rd in the championship. Although a long way from the Williams duo. But not much else to say about the car. The car was the butt of jokes, I think, throughout the year. It was completely different to what everyone else had gone for. Everyone had gone for the high nose in 96, which was pretty much the norm through the year. The low nose of the Ferrari looked a bit weird, and then from Canada onwards they'd gone for the high nose. Also the side pods, something we'd not seen since, undercut at the bottom here, which creates a double floor. And also they jut it out the front here, which is very nicely replicated in this model. Now onto the model itself, very nicely made, a bit iffy in some respects. The wing mirrors, I admit, I have glued back on, because whenever you buy these on eBay and they've not come in a box, they tend to get these broken off. So this didn't come with a box originally, although I have the box now. The wing mirrors were broken, but I managed to botch them back on, so if you do have a look at them, they are a bit glue ridden and a bit strangly, but they're on there. they're attached and they're nicely put on. Well, I don't say nicely put on, but they make the car look a bit nicer anyway. And I do apologise for the light as well. The natural light is not very good in here today because it is raining outside. If I just turn the light off, you'll see what I mean. Yeah, the light isn't that good, is it? Like that. Right. Yeah, it is raining outside, and of course it is getting near to November now, so it's not going to get any better. But yeah, the car itself, very nicely interpreted into a Minichamps model as well. It's a very weird looking car, but I do like it. It's something that nobody ever copies, and maybe that's a good thing, but I really did like the look of this car. I preferred the high nose version because, you know, it made it look a bit more aggressive. The low nose version is kind of a bit stale, but never mind. I don't have the high nose version either, but I did have it once, but it was such a wreck I just sold it for parts, so I ended up just getting the low nose version. And they'll just turn it around here, and very nice shape of the. Oh shit! I just knocked the wing mirror off. Oh fuck it! Right. Anyway, I did say they weren't put on very well, and it just goes to show. Fuck's sake! Look, glued on, and it just flicked across the table. Yeah, glued on there. Bloody butterfingers. Right, I'll have to glue that back on again later on. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. There is a hole there which should glue it. So it's not broken, it's just popped out. Yeah, that's the problem with these things. So, get the glue out later on. Bloody hell, I've lost all track of things now. I'm not going to do too much now, because I'll probably break the other one off. Yeah, it's a nice model, apart from the bloody wing mirror. Like I said, it's not something that anyone copied. Like I said, probably a good thing that nobody copied it, because it was a really chunky looking car. If you look at it from this angle, you can really see the really bulbousness of the airbox around the driver's head, and a really odd looking machine it is as well. But the driver is well cocooned in there. But a lot of teams going into '97 had copied Williams. It's basically, Williams and Jordan basically copied both of their designs, lowering the driver into the car, so basically you're able to lower the sides, the cockpit sides as well, and make the car a bit more aerodynamic and a bit more sleeker. So gone was this design, obsolete it was, and everyone had gone for a lower driver. I think that's sort of the norm, or whether not the norm, or maybe basically the rules say so. The driver has to be much lower in the car now. I could be wrong, but there we go. The F310, which of course this car did evolve into the F310B, yeah, the F310B, which is a completely different looking car but does share the name, and I do have that model as well, and I will review that at a later date as well. That one doesn't actually have any wing mirrors, so there's no chance of me breaking them off. Anyway, we're doing a good look around the car. The front wing design is quite basic, but it's got nice details on it. Also got barge boards, double barge boards between the front wheels. They've got a set of barge boards there and a set of barge boards here. Quite well attached, they're not going to snap off like wing mirrors. If we just turn the car around, get a good look at the rear. Also, there's quite a short diffuser on this car as well. You can't really see it because it's quite far forward, but if I tip the car out, you can see the diffuser there. It is very far forward, and I'm not sure if that was a mistake by Minichamps or if that how the car actually was, but the diffuser is sort of in line with the rear axle, but not a big issue there. If we turn the car over without breaking anything else off, do have the Michael Schumacher collection badge there, also Ferrari F310 from 1996, and also the Paul's Model Art logo there. Paul's Model Art, of course, is what Minichamps became, or Minichamps evolved from Paul Models Art, basically just a rename. Same company, different name. Plonk it there. Strength wise for this model, we've just seen that the wing mirrors do break off very easily. Bloody hell. Right. The rear wing is quite sturdy on there. The front suspension is quite sturdy. Well, it's a bit loose on mine, but it is quite strong otherwise. It's not going to break off. It's just the wheels are a bit wibbly. Front wing is quite nicely held on as well. There isn't much plastic to this body. The only plastic to the red section is under the nose, which of course where the suspension bolts to, and also the headrest around the driver's head is plastic as well. The rest of it is nice plastic as well. If I get a look at the side pods, there is an interesting design which I quite like on this car. It's something that was never, like I said, never copied, but you know, look there, you can't really see very well because the bloody tripod's in the way, but see the side pods go under the car, or underneath like that. It's basically, it's sort of like what they have today, but today they're more organic, you know, they look a bit more, well, they're more curvy, but they look more organic, and it really shows how Formula 1 has evolved. But this is basically the same thing, but in block form. This is the sort of thing you build a modern car in build a modern Formula 1 car in Minecraft. This is what you'll get. Yeah, it's a nice car, and I really do like this one. Yeah, the version I prefer though is the high nose version, but they're a bit harder to come by. But never mind. The Irvine version is, I think, a bit rarer, but they do come on eBay now and then, which is basically the only place you're going to get hold of one of these cars. Details in the cockpit, must do that one. If we look down here, we've got some nice detailing on the steering wheel there, and also you've got a bit of detail on the dashboard, a bit of carbon detailing there. A bit dusty, but I need to get the brush out. As you can see there, the hole for the wing mirror there, so it's not broken, it's just popped out. Never mind. And yeah, it does look pink because of the light and the way the camera's picking it up. And I do apologise for that one, but it is raining outside and the light isn't very good and all that excuse. But yeah, it's a nice car, it's a nice model, and I would definitely recommend getting it. The colour scheme, of course, the F310 was the last Ferrari to have the proper Ferrari red. From 1997 they went for a more Marlboro sponsorship for reds rather than their proper colours, and I think it's the same colour which they use today, so kind of end of an era. Also for the first Ferrari to have the V10 engine. They ditched their V12 and went for the V10. It didn't go too well, but after a couple of years the engine was one of the best. But yeah, very nice car. Just a shame that no one ever copied it, or it never graced the light of Formula 1 ever again. Maybe that was a good thing, but who knows. Price wise for this car, it varies depending on condition. I mean, I picked this thing up for £30, but it didn't have a box, and also the wing mirrors had broken off, which is sort of what happened again. I did pick up a box later on. The box it comes in, if it's part of the Schumacher collection, it will come in a red Schumacher collection box like this one. So you got the Michael Schumacher collection there, and also his badge on the side there. So that's the Schumacher collection box as it is, and that is, yeah, it's the right box as well. F310 1996, and I think the Schumacher collection carried on until 1998. After that, Mattel had the Ferrari rights, but yeah, it's a very nice model, and I would recommend getting hold of it. Either this version or the high nose version. The high nose version I prefer, but never mind. That's just my opinion. Anyway, I just do a quick twist of the camera, or twist of the car again, get it in the light, and yeah. This is Rich signing off, logging off, and disappearing, and I shall return with another review. So bye for now.